Hello YouTube, Saturday Night 24 or Mark. Today I'm going to do a final, I guess you can say, yeah, pretty much a final installment on the Remington 870. As you saw from the previous videos, we took the buttstock, replaced it with a Magpul SGA buttstock, and then for the fore end we used Magpul MOE fore end on it, and also shows you how to install an M-lock. Let's see if I can get this into the shot a little bit more. The M-lock rail. Now we're going to do what I think is like the icing on the cake. Is as far as with this shotgun, it's so much better than what it originally was. Just there's one small thing that we can do to make this thing a little bit better, and that is the magazine. As we can see from here, the magazine is actually quite small. Unlike with when you get a Home Defense Mossberg 500, you can get 7+1. So, and this is a 5-shot capacity. So we're going to increase this with a magazine tube extension. Now, to not go into too much detail as far as just keep on going on and on about magazine tube extensions, but if you're looking for a good magazine tube extension, do your research. See what's out there. See what kind of reviews you have. Go to gun shops. Ask the guys behind the counter. Get their perspective. See what they think. Because likewise, some of these guys have probably done something like this, and they have firsthand knowledge on it. And one thing they told me was stay away from ProMag. With ProMag magazine extensions, they're kind of cheaply made, and sometimes as far as like accuracy and also the quality, the quality of the product is hit or there. And of course then you got the other end of the spectrum, Nordic Components, as well as Remington. Remington makes extension tube magazines, but they're extremely expensive. So one thing they told me to look for is Techstar. So that's what we're going to be installing today. This is their 3-shot extension. It's like a little over 7 inches long. So I already test fitted this on the actual barrel itself, and it actually it's a little below the actual door breech choke tube on it. So it's perfectly fine. As far as what extensions, unless you're like a 3-gun competitor or you go turkey shooting or something like that, you can have this extend out the barrel. But for me, I want it at least flush to the end of the barrel or a little bit under it. And if you buy anything larger, about like a 10-shot, 10 round capacity magazine extension, then you're going to have to get what they call a barrel clamp. A lot of them will include the barrel clamp with the product. That just helps ensure that the actual product itself, that the magazine extension will feed reliably. So let's open it up and see what's inside. What you have here is you have the new spring, because of course we're going to need a new spring because the old spring is going to be too small. And then we have the actual extension tube itself. This is actually a one-piece design. Now, in the market, the market for tube extensions, there are different ones you can choose. Some are one-piece design, some are two-piece design. You can find other YouTube videos that actually go into that with detail, so I would recommend doing that. For me, I'm just going to show you my experience with installing a magazine tube extension. Now, you are going to need a few tools for this. So the tools are, you can use either a drill or a Dremel. because there's two little nubs inside the magazine tube of the Remington 870 that actually holds the spring retainer. So you have to file that down so that when you put the new spring in, it doesn't catch on those metal nubs. You'll need a flathead screwdriver to remove that retainer. I would also recommend a little bit of spray paint, sort of coat the inside of the magazine tube so that, you know, since you're grinding away metal, you don't want to have any exposed, uncoated metal. So throw a little bit of paint in there just to cover it up a little bit. Should do it fine. So let's get started with it. Like I said, Dremel tool will work great. You can use a drill to drill it out, but a Dremel will work fine. And Dremels are very cheap. You can get them at Harbor Freight for like $9-10. So let's go with the install. Let's first do a visual inspection, just so that we can show all those safety enthusiasts that I'm actually practicing proper safety. As I can see, there is no rounds in the actual chamber itself. So there are no rounds in the tube, none in the chamber, so this gun is safe. While the fore end's down, the little barrel nut, we're going to take this off. And the barrel will slide out. In this particular case, I'm not really going to take the fore end off because.
And what we have here, let me just get my extra light here. Right here, where my pen light is pointing, that's the actual spring retainer. That is what we're going to have to remove. To remove, we just push down, and you turn it, and it comes out. So as we can see, this is the old spring, and also the spring retainer. We're not going to need this anymore. Actually, we could probably use the spring to fish out this follower. Well, the follower itself is not going to stay in there. I mean, the follower is going to stay in there, since we can't get it out because of the indentations. Let me see if I can try to bring this up to you, and kind of show you. Kind of like, it's really hard to see, but this is right here. What you see right here in the pen light, that's where one of the indentations is at. And there's two of them, so let me get my Dremel tool out, and we'll get this thing filed down. And of course, like I said before, we've already done this, check for safety, so we don't have to worry about anything going wrong. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick a little bit of a kind of paper towel in there to sort of keep it from
There's right, little tool right here. Let's see if I can get in the light better. All it is just a drum sanding disc.
There we go, got our Dremel together. Now we're just going to turn it on to a low setting. as we can see, we got it all cleaned up. Now I'm just gonna plug that in there. Gonna help blow out the Yep, and as you can see, the follower is complete. The actual follower popped right out, so we're okay. And of course, as always, we're gonna stand it on like this, and just we'll just pretty much take a look inside. See where we're at. Come back with a little wet towel.